Cool.
You have the best background of anyone so far today. You win.
Oh, right on, man. Awesome. I'm a big collector of all this stuff. I love it. And I'm going to be adding some Skeleton Crew characters behind
we got some good action
All right,
figures. We just saw them recently.
Yeah, wicked, man. All right, let me do my intro real quick. Hey, I'm Victor Lucas from the Electric Playground, and I'm with John Watts and Chris Ford. They are the two showrunners for Skeleton Crew, and congrats, you guys. It's a blast. I've been having a lot of fun. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I can't wait for the rest. When I showed the trailer to my daughter, she said to me that this doesn't look like Star Wars, and I'm wondering if that was part of the pull for you guys, part of the attraction to make the show.
How old is she?
She's 12.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, we were excited about telling a show from the perspective of a group of kids that don't really know that much about Star Wars either. So because the show
she's my kid though, right?
Yeah,
so
she definitely knows.
She's in Nerdville.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I can't imagine. It's kind of the perfect thing, you know. We want it to be a show that works if you don't know anything about Star Wars, and also a show that works if you know everything about Star Wars. So I'm really curious to see what that discussion ends up being.
Awesome. Well, it doesn't hold back on action, and, you know, Star Wars fans are vociferous. They like to express themselves. What do you say to the skeptics out there that think this is just a show for young kids?
I would say come check it out.
Yeah.
And that, you know, have fun, enjoy it. We try to put together a really fun and adventurous ride. So,
Chris, this is the most Earth-like, I mean, not all of it, but some of the scenes is the most Earth-like we've seen in Star Wars before. And the thought that came to my mind is that, are you guys kind of opening the door to this galaxy that's far, far away, maybe one day discovering our galaxy here?
Well, I mean, it's also a long, long time ago.
It was, yeah.
It's interesting because when we talked about it having that kind of look for their home planet, it isn't even necessarily that it looks like Earth, because so many different planets look like pieces of Earth with something changed or turned on its head. So it's honestly that it looks a little bit like America, because it has that.
Looks like suburbia, yeah.
Suburban houses kind of thing. And, you know, we just strongly felt that it's really served the story because, you know, working with Doug Chiang and those kinds of designs that you want to get where you see a silhouette even and you understand what it is, it's a quick read. And we really felt that designing this town to be the way it is really made you understand where these characters are coming from the very get-go in a really important way for our story. And that then when you delve into the details of it, it still finds a way to feel super Star Wars-y. Like, I always loved Emperor's kitchen with all those little devices inside of, you know, where she's cooking, and it feels super Star Wars-y. And, you know, there's kitchens in these houses, and they you know, there's some overlap there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very cool. Let's talk a little bit about Jude Law and his character. Is it Jod Nawood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Was he the first actor that you thought for this character? And maybe take us into who he is a little bit. I don't want to spoil it for the audience.
Yeah, I mean, Jod was always sort of who we imagined as the perfect version of this character. We can't believe that he said yes, still, I think. But yeah, we wanted to build a character that had like a lot of mystery and a complex backstory and a lot of layers that you could unravel. And Jude added so much more to that than we were ever even anticipating. Like, he created like just such a deep, complex, nuanced character that he feels like he's always existed in the Star Wars universe, and we just, you know, put him in the show. Like, he feels like he belongs.
To see Jude Law's arc too, to be this leading man guy, and he still has all those chops, but he's also an amazing character actor. He's a perfect fit in Star Wars.
Yeah,
great casting all the way. And I'm wondering if there is one of the younger actors that has surprised you the most in the show.
All of them. I mean, really, like, it was like every single day, like, the kids would blow you away, to the point where we realized we could write more difficult things for them to do than we had initially anticipated. You know, like, we could write more complex, more nuanced scenes because they were so good. You know, you enter into it with a sense of what you'll be able to draw out of an actor that's 10 years old, and then, you know, they were so great that we were able to write up to them as opposed to having to write down to someone.
Is it surreal for you guys that Kathleen, who worked on the Goonies, is working on this show, and does she bring some of the stories
it's
from
so
that
like
set?
when
crazy.
she would just tell us stories about well when we were on the set of Goonies, and you're like, oh right, you forget that like
because it's funny because I get it also with the Star Wars fandom. It's like when I think of Goonies, I feel like it's mine in a way because it was like me and my friends, we watch it over and over, and then you meet the people who actually made it, and you're like, oh, okay, I understand. There's a thing there, but she gets that it's for everyone.
When we talk about it with like such reverence, like it's almost like this mythological object, and she's probably just thinking about like why they were behind that day, and like how they couldn't get a shot because of the weather or whatever.
You have a character in here called SM33, and of course, I'm sure you've had this question 7,000 times today already. Is it Spider-Man 33 from 1966? Is there an illusion there? Is there a connection to it? You guys
the
can't have
connection that you
anything
made?
with S.
That's the connection that you made?
Yeah.
No, not at all. There's
Okay.
What happens in that?
Wait, what?
I haven't read the comic. I've just read a synopsis of it, and there is some. There's almost a drowning and a real challenge. It's also the end of the.
Man.
It's
the
when he's
lead
trapped
Ditko
under the
run.
stuff and it's all dripping down.
That's right. Yeah.
But I mean, I never ever because it is a reference to
Guys, you
something.
cannot put S and SM into anything.
I am embarrassed now that I never even thought that people would make that connection because it's one of the best Spider-Man comics of all time.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, it's a reference to something else that's not Spider-Man, which I thought would be so obvious that no one would think
it was
anything
Spider-Man?
that
No.
they would think it was anything else. But yeah, you
Well,
win.
you gotta tell me now.
You win this round.
Oh, we can't tell you because it's too embarrassing.
Yeah, it seems
Compared to that reference,
Yeah,
it's not,
it seems so
it's
silly.
not clever.
Well, you guys can rip that off.
Sure.
Fantastic to meet you both. I'm
Yeah,
a huge
you
fan
too.
of your work, and I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see what you have in store for us next. But congrats on Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
a
guys.
lot.
So much.